I hope I'm in focus. I really hope I'm in focus. Hey guys, DCM Brooks here, and actually, my bad. It's been a while. How's it going? How's everything doing? It's been a minute. I got a beard now, which is crazy, but we'll get to that later. Right now, we're doing a video because it's been 5 full years of photography. It's been 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. I'll count 17 and 16 together because 16 I didn't really get into it too much. But you know, still a good full 5 or 6 years of photography. We're doing a video on the top 3 shots of each year. I might cheat a little bit, you know, keep that between us, me and you. But you know, 5 years of photography. Let's go. 2021, what's my favorite shot of this year? Favorite shot of this year, 3 favorite shots of this year, has to be this last photo shoot I did with my cousin Tommy. This shot came out of just thin air. This idea for this shot just came out of thin air, just doing, you know, playing with the poses and everything. Just had this one just lined up, and thankfully I did a kind of clamshell lighting technique, which I got from Becky and Chris. Their YouTube channel is amazing. I got this, you know, kind of clamshell lighting setups going on, and I had her just rest her hand like this, and it worked out super perfectly. Next one. Niagara Falls. This was a dope shot. Going through the pocket list, going through the list of shots I love from that series, from that trip, it was hard to choose which one, but this one was definitely a good one. That place is, it's like it's like my dream place to shoot. It has perfect lighting outside for that time. I can't even imagine what raining season would be like over there, but it was so I would say majestic to shoot, because the next shot is gonna show you why exactly. But this place is just such epic bangers that could come out of there, regardless if you're a beginner, a pro, or whatsoever. Well, pro definitely, you'll get some good ones out of there. With this one, we're on like a little big tower, and we're just kind of looking over there. It looks like a drone shot, which is why I love it so much. I really want to get a drone. I really want to get a drone. If one of you guys want to bless me with the drone real quick, I will love you forever. But this looks like a drone shot, which I really love from it. There was not enough edits that would make this become even better than it was. Just kind of keeping it, the greens, the blues, the teals. It's like, man, taking the photo, editing the photo, and remembering the photo is just absolutely amazing. Now this next one this was crazy, because we got there at night. Well, the sun was a little bit setting, but it was pretty much nighttime. You can't see anything, but the lights that they had were shining on the falls, and that was amazing. Seeing all of them, obviously you're not seeing this picture, but it's like shining on the falls. And then I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure they had lights inside the falls shining out, which was crazy. But this shot was amazing. I'm just trying to find the words to say this shot was amazing. It's just something about that photo. I'm rambling. Let's get to the next one. Now we heading back to 2020. What a year, honestly. Nah, whatever. Forget it. So 2020, the last shot of that year, or my last favorite, was definitely this one. I had a photo shoot with my friend Lori. Shout out to Lori if you're watching this. This one, I planned it because I saw it online. I was like, we need a photo like this. I said, we need a photo like this. I made it apparent. We had some, you know, some stars, some other things. Thankfully not glitter. because I hate glitter with a passion. Literally, I only had one try to make this work. We only had one try to make this actually work. We didn't clean up, by the way, my bad. Now, early 2020. This was about that last one was June-ish, June, July-ish. But this one is about early 2020. This was at a concert with Anthony Brown. This was a good. I love shooting concerts because you get to be a fly on the wall, but also catching the action that's happening, catching the people, you know, dancing or whatsoever, having a good time, really feeling the mood, feeling the atmosphere of it. And this one kind of captures exactly what I like to capture. But, you know, having that kind of spontaneous, you know, kind of feeling that worship kind of vibe. That's what I really like with church photography. I really just kind of walked on stage. I got better at that. Just kind of having the confidence to just walk on stage and capture those photos. It takes some confidence, but, you know, you do get the best shots out of it. So this is one of the best ones. And then this next one, this was real, like, I had to talk myself into getting this photo. This I like to call it the Moses shot. This, like, splitting the Red Sea open and doing that. It was real fun, but I knew I needed a shot behind him, and I was trying to muster up the courage in that moment to, like, just walk on stage just to get that shot. This shot came before the other shot because, you know, I was already feeling it. But this shot is like, yo, I need to make sure I get this shot done. But the person's performing, you know, you have that jitters about, like, dang, I don't want to go out in front. I don't want to go behind them and just interrupt the thing. So you just kind of snake and maneuver through, like, the back scenes and everything. Thankfully, I was cool with the security over there. So they're like, all right, go ahead, take those shots. Go ahead. We already know what you're here to do. I'm terribly glad that I got this shot and just walked on the stage, just kind of beep 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 beep. So now that's the end of 2020. Now let's go to 2019. 2019, I like to say that is the year where my photography brain just took over. Like, I was just pretty much running around with the camera. The only thing I was focused on was whatever's in that camera. Whatever was in front of the camera, that's what I was focused on that whole year. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was fun. Did leave some good moments, some bad moments, some, you know, that I don't know what I'm doing here. But overall, in the hindsight, I do not regret any of it. This was at a church event. It's called Youth Federation. This was 2019. After I saw, like, the background and everything, I said, yo, I need a picture with that background just flat. I need, like, this where the Nifty 50 got its praise for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I knew I needed him in focus, and that background just that church background, you can't really beat it. It's like, it's a whole genre of itself with those kind of mosaics in the background and the organs and the pipes and the glitz, like the gold. So this one, I loved it. I absolutely loved this shot. Next one. There's a whole story behind this, like why I like this shoot so much, like on the back end of it. I love this shot because I wanted to get that Batman kind of flipping of the cow in front of them. We bodied that within like maybe 1 or 2 tries. 2 or 3 tries, we got that exact shot, and kind of having the dress kind of flapping in the wind, kind of sandwiching the dress, her, and then the background. Oh, oof, my goodness, we killed it. I ain't gonna lie to you, Genesis, we killed that shoot. I'm honestly like, yo, early 2019. This one was a good one. When I was working with the student newspaper, The Reporter, I got the chance to follow Miss Carnival Miami. I forgot her name. What? Camila Cuesta. Yeah, I feel like all these things have all these photographs that I love have a story behind it. But what I will say is that this was a really unplanned shot because they did have to find her, then follow her around to take the pictures. I'm like trying to get like a money shot of her, and then just kind of having this perfect moment in between events and everything, just kind of lining up and just snapping the shot, and this being a moneymaker. Having one money shot is key to having, you know, something that you're looking towards. Even if you got like other bangers as well, It's that peace of mind knowing that you got some kind of shot that you wanted. And this was that exact shot. I was graduating from high school, then I went on a Europe trip, and then I went to college. But this shot in particular, this shot is from another Federation event. I didn't have a quick play of exactly what I wanted to, but I just kind of like went in there and just kind of let my photography brain just go wild out with these shots, kind of capturing the perfect moment by actually scripting it out, planning out these shots in a way that kind of told a bit of a story. So after Federation, we have the money shot of my photography 5 years. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. This shot, if I had a favorite shot of all of photography, this had to be the shot. This had to be the shot of my photography. In the summer of 2018, my family gave me a graduation gift of going on a trip to Europe. As soon as I heard that I was going on the trip, this was the shot that was on my mind. This was the shot that I planned at least a month actually to that date. A month or so in advance. I planned the shot a month in advance. In Miami, while I'm still in Miami, I'm thinking of this shot. While I'm on the plane ride, I'm thinking of this shot. When I'm on the boat or in the bus going to the place, I'm thinking of this shot. Whenever I got to the boat, I said, this is game time. Family, y'all might, get mad at me for this, but I wasn't supposed to be in this area. I ain't gonna lie to you. It did say off limits. I think it said off limits. It was a different language, so I can't understand. Because I can't read, I can't understand. So joke's on them. Employees were only access to this location. But whoever left that door open, that's your fault. That's your fault. That's your fault. So pretty much after I got down there, now is the time to get this shot that I was planning for months. For a month, I was planning this shot out. And immediately after I took it, I went back to my room and edited. This was the money shot. If the trip ended right there, I would have been happy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have been happy because this shot, the chef kiss of the chef, chef kiss of the chef kiss. This was what that shot was for me. Next, this one was a good shot. This one was back in high school. This was, I believe, Isis, Kate, and I think her name was Rosa. They were performing, I believe, Hamilton, which was, kind of a good one. And I loved the performance so much. This one was, kind of one of many that I was taking. I have so in high school, I just went, a lot of people know from high school from just kind of running around with the camera as well. But I have literally all those photos, and it's fun to go back into them and just see all the memories and everything. The spotlight was just in that corner. I was able to, and something about me in 2018 just made me just put borders and kind of frames under all my photos, which I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why I did that. Most of my photos from that age, from 2018 and back, they have those. I ain't gonna lie to you. At the time, I loved it. I said every single photo needs to have this photo frame. This is the last shot from 2018. This shot. Fun fact, this shot is actually the same as the Anthony Brown concert. This is actually not the same shot, the same place actually. This is just literally 2 years after this shot. So they are having a battle of the choirs, and my choir, the best one, the one that actually won there. This was a good shot. This was a good night. This was a good it's fun when you go through nights, when you go through photography and you remember the situations that were there. You just kind of spark into, I remember shooting that. I remember what the base felt like in that. Taking those shots and going through them, you get to remember exactly where you were in those photos. So when I'm going through all these photos for the past 5 years, I'm always remembering, okay, dang, I remember that feeling when I was at that event, when I was taking pictures of that person, when I was following her around and taking pictures, when I'm having to go to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. I remember those, going through all of that through my last 5 years of photography. Performances were dope. This one was good. And I'm going to get this printed, actually. I'm going to get this printed and give it to my Uncle Richard in the Battle of the Choirs at Phasia 2018. That one was good. 2017, opened that one up with my first successful long exposure. Went to Atlanta. We went to Lake Lanier. I know the history. I now know the history behind everything that went down there. This was just a carnival that was there, that you just put there, and I just was happy to take this shot, and being able to learn something photography and really kind of hoping for taking it and implementing that skill of long exposure photography. If you're familiar with that one, that was the same one from the Niagara Falls, the first one. Well, not the first one, the second one, the nighttime shot. It was fuzzy though because it was windy, because it was Atlanta. It was Thanksgiving time actually, so we went over there for Thanksgiving. We got this shot. It was amazing. I got this shot. It was amazing. Funny thing is that I had my family waiting outside in the cold, while I was taking this photo. But you know, the shots are more important. Like the famous Thanos once said, it's a small price to pay for salvation. Because this was totally worth it. For them freezing their butts off in the car, this was worth it. When you have a photographer in the family, in the friend group, you guys are gonna sacrifice a lot. When you are that photographer, you do gotta trade off their sacrifice for your sacrifice of taking photos. So it's a fair exchange. It's a fair exchange of, you know, comfortability. When you're a photographer, your first models or whatsoever are always gonna be friends and family, or family. Thankfully, I had both. So my cousin Ali, pretty much another one that's like my twin. It's good to do with friends, so you get that more comfortable doing it, like posing, telling them what to do, and so on and so forth. And you're like, hey, stand like this. Hey, try this. You get those ideas running to the point where you're able to say, okay, now that I did that with this person, I know what to do with this person. That comfortability aspect, it helps you continue. Oh my funny. Oh my goodness. So I completely forsaken of my junior year prom. So I said, you know what, how about I just have people take pictures of everybody at prom just to get that experience. And I do not regret it one bit, because I charged people $10 for a full photographer for everybody. So I had 8 people calling me, hey, can you take photos? Hey, can you take photos? Hey, can you take photos? One of my friends, Katiana from high school, I think that was a senior prom. So with this one, it just kind of reminds me of that first kind of, that flair for photography, that, dang, I love this. I want to take pictures. I'm getting into it. I'm learning more about it. And even on the shoots you do, it's like you learn more about the camera and the equipment and the different techniques that you want to use or that you can implement. And with this one, it was no doubt. I have zero clue. Remember I told you about that, 3D effect that I did before, the 3D frame effect that I did? I have zero clue why I wanted to do that here, but also I rotated the photo in post for some reason. And so you see like the top left and the bottom right, that's completely kind of shaven off, like somebody cut it. I don't know why I did that. I don't remember the reason. I remember I loved it. I remember seeing it. I was like, this is gonna be good. Looking back 5 years later, what were you thinking, Vlad? What were you thinking? But I'm not gonna crucify myself today. The next one. So this one, it's basic photo from it, but this was actually 2016. But I love this photo because it just kind of captures me in high school doing photography. I just pretty much joined as many clubs as I can. Just want to take photos, and this was Green Club, so I just went there taking photos of whatsoever of pretty much everybody, and just joining clubs, being with friends, family, whatsoever. And this photo kind of captures it a lot. This photo amongst others as well. But This was Green Club. We were all just kind of planting plants, planting, whatever. We're doing Green Club stuff. We're doing Green Club stuff, and I just love the photos. Now, 2016. This was actually one of the first photos I've taken. Actually, one of the first ever photos I took in photography. That afternoon of just finding the camera, like, hey, I just wonder what this is. Went back, just took it, ran around my backyard. I chased this cat around just to look for just to get this photo actually. And this one was funny. I mean, this is more of a basic shot. You'll see this on my Instagram, but it was just a shot that I just had, and it just represents that start flame of photography, that starting like click of, dang, I love photography after doing this. After taking this, it was, oh, I like this shot, let me do it again, let me do it again, let me do it again. And then 100,000 times of doing it over and over again, I'm right here back in 5 years later looking at this photo. It's like, this is one of the first photos that started it all. This was my first, real time taking it to an event whatsoever, taking photos of my cousin's graduation. Funny enough, so quick, honest hour between me and you. This is a secret between me and you. After that kind of shooting that graduation, I was like, these photos are amazing. I love photography. I really love photography. I'm a really good photographer after shooting this photo. This is the only non-blurry photo that is in that full album. Like, all of them is just blurry, motion everywhere, flash at the wrong time. And this is literally the only recoverable photo, one of the only recoverable photos from that album, from that night, from that afternoon of just taking pictures of graduation. And I re-edited this one. I did do another edit on there, but it's so funny because it does also represent of me just finding that love for photography, finding that passion for it. Also me just being tunnel vision into it, that I didn't even see that this is the only, I'm not even kidding, all of those photos are blurry. All of them are just completely blurry, just barely any context to them. You can't really understand or make out what's happening. You can make out what's happening, but it's like, what's the subject, what's not the subject. This is all blurry. This one is overexposed, this is underexposed. But just, I remember that afternoon coming back home and feeling like, dang, I really love photography after this. I really love going through the photos and seeing them and just kind of like taking photos. Just having that shot and having that reminder to me, it kind of refuels that photography in me when I'm just feeling down and everything. And that is it. 5 full years of photography. It is definitely a journey that I love. It's like looking back on it and seeing it, I'm just like, wow, we've come a long way. It's really been a long time and a lot of experiences, a lot of joys, a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, a lot of disappointments, even with different things. But just looking at it, being fully appreciative of the past 5 years of photography, the past dedication to, not dedication, but past full-on focus of photography. It's put me in some very interesting places, some great places, get me to know different people and so on and so forth. But I can't say anything but that I loved it. I loved every minute from it, and even with the disappointments and different things as well, I do not regret any of it. I love it. All the people I've met, all the people from high school, on trips and whatsoever that I've been able to meet, and so on and so forth, college and whatsoever, in the newspaper and everywhere, I'm completely grateful for all of it. Taking like a time to go back through these photos, it really puts you in a grateful perspective of everything. Grateful to God, grateful to people. People just let me shoot pictures of them. People like, hey, I got nothing else to give you but these photos I took of you. Hey, maybe if you could post this or whatever, just keep it for yourself. I love that from you. Meeting some very interesting people along the way or whatsoever, being in some crazy places like Niagara Falls or whatsoever on the other side of the world. It's been crazy, and I'm completely grateful for everything. And glad that you guys are along for the next 5 or so years for photography. And one thing I've struggled to get out the ground or find the courage to do was this YouTube channel. Even though the last 5 years was me kind of doing it without it, These next 5 years is going to be me doing it with it. So come along for this journey, or along this journey, and let's get to it. So if you like this video, please throw a like my way. It's really warms my heart whatsoever. If you down for the journey, down for coming along the ride, subscribe to it. Don't turn that notification bell up, and you'll see a lot more from me. Stay safe, y'all be easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.